So we are now ready to move on and keep track with our schedule. The next topic, first of all, thank you all for joining us in this warm Saturday morning, I think across Europe. Thank you for attending this event. And our next topic will be around BIM and integrated management. And we have our two speakers. And the first one will be Gabriele, who is from many things. She's a co-author of PMBOK 8. She joined the development team as volunteer. She has multiple certificates with the Project Management Institute, portfolio management, project management professional, risk management, and some agile and Scrum certificates, as I know. She's a professional of almost 15 years within the industry, and with experience in energy manufacturing, real estate, clinical research, and others. She is currently leading the project management department at Gilos. Hopefully I'm pronouncing correctly, in Lithuania. And apart from everything else, she's also actively involved with the project management community. She's a lecturer, PhD candidate, a PMO advisory board member, and has been in 2024 until up to now judge for the Global PMO Awards within the PMO Global Alliance. So, Gabriele, hopefully you can share your screen. You've already shared your screen. I don't know. And the stage is yours.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much for such a nice presentation. Hopefully everyone can see my screen.
You can see your
Uh,
screen. We can hear you very well.
Okay, really good. So,
Good.
thank you so much. Thank you for all the speakers, all the additional speakers, and also all the participants for joining us on construction conference instead of being at the beach or somewhere else. So, thank you so much for that. And I will try to engage you a little bit more. So, I will have actually some questions for you and will ask you to participate via Mentimeter. So, I will share the QR code really soon. So first of all, my topic is related to BIM, as already was explained. So basically, I will start suggesting how BIM can support digital transformation in projects. I'm coming from Lithuania, as colleague mentioned, and I'm really happy to also to share that I have my colleague from my company, Gijos, here with me together, presenting the topic of BIM. Vidmantas Urbanas is here, so we both work within the same department. So I will go more on, let's say, theoretical side, and Vidmantas will share the more practical experiences that we encountered within our company. So, what are the learning objectives today? So, first of all, I will try to give the basic information. What are the simulations? Because BIM is actually a simulation, and also to explain how BIM can be integrated with additional digital technologies to enhance project outcomes. Because colleagues before mentioned lots of digital technologies, including AI, and BIM really works well with them. Another learning objective is to assess what are the common challenges when it comes to integrating BIM within our projects. And of course, I will share some examples from our company, Gijos in Lithuania, just for you to understand better what we did in less than a year when basically we implemented BIM from, if I can say, from scratch. So first of all, I would like to know more a little bit about you. So I would like to ask every participant to scan this QR code. If the QR code is not working, please enter menti.com into your phone or into your computer and enter this code that you can see. It's 23988402. And please be aware that you can choose whatever username you would like. It could be any word, any letter, any number. I'm not going to collect this data, and it's going to remain anonymous. I really don't need your names or surnames or any personal information, and I will use this information only for scholarly and scientific purposes, because as Konstantinos already mentioned, I'm also doing my PhD students as well, studies as well. So, the first question that I would like to know from your actual companies or organizations that you are working on, what kind of digital transformation or in general digital tools are you already using in your projects? For instance, as it was already mentioned within, I think, the first presentation, Internet of Things, cloud computing, maybe it's blockchain, maybe it's big data, artificial intelligence that we are talking a lot nowadays in various conferences. I just attended the conference on sustainability this week, and also AI was the most trending topic. Also, digital twin, that was also nicely mentioned by the previous speaker. That was more let's say started and was more common in 2010, and it's already here for some years. Also, of course, BIM, GIS system, and life cycle analysis, and then we have data analytics. So please just swipe your phone with all these choices, and please let me know which of the tool you are using within your projects. You can actually select several of those. So I see we already have 13 people that has been answered this question. Also, for the ones, if you join later on, please not be afraid. You can enter this Mentimeter code whenever you want. You can join even later with your answers to my survey. So, okay, let's see the results. So yes, we have data analytics as the most commonly used digital tool. Then we have AI, which works really well with our nowadays topics, and that's really interesting because I did also some research with industrial companies, the biggest industrial companies, and actually data analytics and AI were the most commonly used digital transformation tools. So let's see, what about BIM? We have it on the 4th position, so it's not as common, and we also have cloud computing on the 3rd position. Okay, so I always believe that it's best to understand the technology as the most easy way as possible. So basically, BIM is just a simulation, one of types of simulations, because Industry 4.0 technologies are having such types of simulations as physical automation domain. Basically, it's a robot. Then we have simulation and modeling domain, what is actually BIM, and it's like way to provide information in 3D models or 4D models, just for everyone to be able to see how the project goal, project object that we are building going to look at the end once the project is done. And of course, we have third type of simulations, which are digitization or virtualization domain. And basically, it's cloud platforms. It could be also BIM cloud platforms as Autodesk or similar. The simulations, all of this that I explained before, they actually have various use cases for the projects, and I'm really happy that colleagues and Angel already presented use cases for AI, and it's same with BIM and other simulations as cloud computing. So basically, it's applicable to various industries, various projects. It could be food and beverage, smart factories, teaching. It actually doesn't matter. So when we talk about BIM, let's not focus like really in like really narrow way. Let's think how we can expand this technology more broadly, because it's not only about construction. It can be used also in different industries. Another way how we can use BIM and other simulations is for project decision making, supporting project decisions. Then we also can use it for training the project team, because instead of going on the site, we can have simulations and create situations that reflect some crisis within the construction site. What is also really useful, quite similar to AI, it's really useful when it comes to risk management in projects and also predictions. Furthermore, we can also use GIS and BIM together as integrated systems for project inventory management, project sustainability enhancement, and the next question is again going back to you. How are you using BIM technology within your projects? Could you tell me more about your organizations? Maybe you are using for predicting critical and severe outcomes, clashes and delays, maybe for supporting decision making, for instance, demonstrating the built product to senior leaders that are not aware as much into the technical side, maybe for training employees, for storing, editing, and sharing data, for example, sharing data with architects, engineers, and other contractors, for instance, for effective resource management, because when you have this model that you can imagine how the site and how the end of the project will look like, it's easier also to understand what kind of resources you need. Also, maybe you can use it for sustainability, or you are already using it for higher sustainability, because maybe you can use less of resources, and this is how you will nicely will impact the environmental aspect of sustainability. Another aspect where you can use BIM technology is for monitoring and controlling suppliers or contractors, and maybe your organizations do not use BIM at all, so don't be afraid. Also use this option. We are learning, everybody. Maybe it's not that common in every company, so please free to answer also this option. So we already have 8 answers, so maybe let's hope for at least 2 more to have at least 10 answers. Okay, let's wait. How you're using BIM within projects. As I mentioned, if you don't use it, it's okay. You can give this answer to us as well. Okay, just to save time, let's see the result. So basically, I see that BIM is mostly used within your companies for storing, editing, and sharing data. So more like cloud computing. And another aspect how you use BIM is for predicting critical and severe outcomes. So that's really also a nice option. Okay, let's go to another one. So what is really nice with BIM, that it doesn't have to work in isolated place. It really works well with other digital technologies, especially with GIS, because BIM model really works well with basically geographical information, where we can track the vendors. Also, we can track how our object, especially if it's linear object. For instance, our company is doing some construction work on the pipe, and the project could span for several kilometers. So in this case, we can really nicely see the data that is in GIS, also integrated with BIM models. Again, where BIM works well is with GIS and digital twin. Another digital technology that has really nice symbiosis is automation. Of course, AI, machine learning, big data, and cloud computing. In some cases, some IT systems or IT software that is having BIM models have cloud computing already integrated. For instance, we are using Autodesk that is already having BIM and cloud computing within one software and within one license package. Another thing where you can use BIM together with digital technologies are 3D printing, also drones, because you can scan the data and compare it with BIM model, how it was designed. And actually, we do that within our company's projects as mentioned, because in some cases we have projects that are having longer destinations. So drones are really useful for capturing this data, because it won't be as easy to walk all 3, 4, or even 5 kilometers and capture all the information. So from the panoramic perspective, it's way easier to see what it's done and compare it with BIM. Another question for you. Which other digital technologies, if you are already using BIM, maybe you are combining together in your projects? Please choose the technologies that I already mentioned. For instance, GIS, digital twin, automation, AI, big data, cloud computing, drones, or 3D printing. Maybe you are using some of those together with them. So we have already one response. Two responses. In the meantime, I will check the time if I'm good with the time. Okay.
We have a few more minutes.
Okay, so
Okay.
I will try to be fast. Okay, so we have 6 responses. So let's see, you're using it together with cloud computing, which I already mentioned could be integrated within the same software, and digital twin. Okay. What is necessary to mention? Actually, BIM requires extra investments, at least at the beginning, and you have to plan that you are going to use this IT system. As colleagues already mentioned in their previous presentation, it's again about change management and about communicating the value to the people. And especially if your organization has never used BIM or use it only occasionally, it might be hard for people to understand why they need additional technology within your technology package. So it's really necessary to talk about the benefits of BIM, and in some cases they are not defined into the stone, so you have to actually do some pilots and to see what really works well with your company. Maybe we will skip this one because I see I'm having too much talking during my presentation. What is really important, if you haven't started using BIM within your company, and if it's not mandatory by the regulation or by the law, or only mandatory for some projects, the start may take time. For our company, actually, it wasn't that easy to implement BIM. It took some time and it was quite rough because not everybody understood the actual benefit of it. And in some cases, there were people that have never heard about it, because our company is actually manufacturing company first, and then we do some construction on our capex projects. So you have to give some demonstrations, you have to provide some pilots, and always do some awareness. So I really want to say thank you to my colleague Vidmantas, who is here today, because he was constantly on weekly basis showing our pilot model of our hydrogen construction site to our project managers and team members of project, that they would understand how it works. And it was really nice to demonstrate while the project has been built, because at first they saw the model, then they saw how many things have been built during the time period. So I believe the demonstration is a must. Then the people start to understand, okay, maybe it's really useful in this project, so it might be also useful in our projects. Another thing what is really important, as I already mentioned, we are using Autodesk. It's not an advertising, just our case. Basically, this kind of systems usually are having additional tools that you can use. For instance, it has some scheduling. It also have cloud collaboration that we actually use with our contractors. And what we did, we basically made it mandatory after, of course, cost-benefit analysis and buying enough of licenses, that all our contractors and designers has to use this system despite if the project has BIM as a necessity based on regulation or not, because we believe that it's really good way to share the information. Because if you share the information via email, via call, via text, it might be lost. And what was really fruitful for us, because actually we had a dispute with one of our contractors, and it was really nice because we already had this information shared and discussions and notes taken within this system, and we could show and prove and that our contractor actually wasn't that correct on that specific case. So it was really useful. Also, I would suggest to find additional use cases. For instance, our company starting to use this BIM and also this platform for defect and issue management, because one of the project managers that was having experience in prior works during site inspection, he started to help our other project managers on defects and issue tracking by going to the site on weekly basis and just capturing the data by using his phone and adding this data directly into the system, that the contractor and of course the project manager and project team could see this information and also could track it. And I think it's really a good use case to have it together with AI, as previous speakers already also mentioned that AI works really well when it comes to defect management and issue management. So I think it could be really nicely combined. And also we of course see the status if the defect was already resolved. And another thing that I already mentioned a little bit, how we integrated BIM with other technologies. So we started to do drone scanning. So of course this project is not complicated, but when you have lots of pipes during within the whole city, and actually we doing pipe changes all over the city where we have people living, and people in some cases also have like some disputes. They believe that they might be right in some cases. So this is also a good way to capture the data and store it within the BIM system. And if we have some disputes or some issues or requests with the neighboring people living next to the site, it also helps us to be on the safe side, and of course to track every month how much work is done by our contractors, because when drone is taking pictures, it is also using LiDAR system where they can measure how much of work can be done, and when you use BIM you actually can see if the work has been done according to design. So it saves a lot of time for our project managers and technical stuff. And what I want to do now for my ending, one of the last slides, so I want to encourage to use new terminology for BIM. It's not only business information modeling, but I would also encourage to break into the mind of project team and unlock this powerful tool for project, because as it was presented previously, it's been here for a really long time, but in not every case we use the system, and it can be really nicely integrated with other tools, and it has like so many different possibilities and potential. So thank you so much, and if you would like, please feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. You can scan this QR code or just enter my name and surname. It's Gabrielé Bitiné. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Gabriel. I can see that our attendees are a bit shy today, so please go go on with any questions. And in the meantime, I just have one, maybe not question, but clarification as well. Uh, what is the definition of BIM within your company? Like, what do you mean in terms of BIM? Because I'm in the industry for over 10 years. My main, I'm within this field as well. So I know that BIM can be misused or misinterpreted in different occasions. So what is in for your organization?
Yeah, so basically we use it where it's mandatory. For example, on our hydrogen construction site, because it was mandatory by law based of the project budget. But in some cases, if the project is new for us and we have agreement with our project committees, we could also use BIM for the project where it's not mandatory. So basically, we consider it to be a 3D design, but we use the system also for other matters and for other projects that we're doing. So even though the system of Autodesk is commonly used for BIM, but we also try to use it for different purposes and for different projects that are not, how to say, have mandatory obligations to use BIM.
So in general, it's part of how you design, let's say, right? Transforming the design from 2D CAD to 3D, and it can be, as we usually say, like software agnostic, right? It can be any software, any application from any vendor, right? We're not,
Yeah.
of course, there are big vendors across the industry, but yes, who are a
Yes.
bit
Yeah.
ahead, but there are plenty of other tools around, right? That they're covering the 3D requirement. And
Yeah.
in terms of information as well, like you are, is this mandatory by the clients to deliver information and data enriched models for your handover?
So basically, we are the client and we are
Okay.
hiring the contractors. Yeah, we have some artifacts that are mandatory, and Vidmant as an expert on that topic going to present more. But for instance, now we are also developing a digital twin for all our piping system because we are a company who's in charge of our capital of Lithuania, Vilnius, central heating, district heating. So we have like 70 kilometers of pipes within this city. So basically, once the digital twin will be installed, we also going to use it through the BIM, let's say.
Okay.
And
Hence,
for
hence the
the
IoT.
maintenance, sorry?
That is the reason for the IoT as well, right?
Yes.
IoT
Yes.
technology and everything. All right. Very good. Very good. Thank you. Thank you very much, Gabriel. If there are any questions, you can feel free to add them to our chat box and we'll cover them afterwards.